Alright fellas, we've got some huge news straight out of Saudi Arabia. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has officially confirmed it. Ryan Garcia has signed on the dotted line. The deal is done. Ryan is back, and with all the chaos and rumors flying around lately, I held off on covering this story until we had something concrete. Well, this confirms a lot of those whispers. Now, while we don't yet know who Ryan's opponent is for sure, we do have a timeline, and it gives us a clear picture of what's coming. And let me tell you, it looks like we're in for a wild ride that could deliver some of the biggest fights boxing has to offer. But real quick, if you're into boxing news, breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes updates, hit that subscribe button. I've got you covered every step of the way. Let's talk about Haney versus Garcia, one of the most talked about matchups in boxing over the past year. You know the saga by now. Ryan beats Haney, tests positive, the win gets overturned, and there's been non-stop trash talk ever since. Despite all the drama, or maybe because of it, the demand for a rematch has never gone away. Even though the original fight went down in April last year, the tension's still fresh. Now, because of the suspension, that rematch has been in limbo. But as they've done with many things in boxing lately, the Saudis have stepped in to bring order to the chaos. For a while, things were quiet. Until last week. At the Ring Magazine Awards, nearly every major player in the sport showed up, including both Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. It was the first time they'd been in the same place since that first fight. There was a bit of a vague confrontation, mostly Bill Haney yelling at Ryan as he got into a car. But more importantly, both fighters being there confirms they're in talks with the Saudis. Now, even with whispers of BLK Prime trying to worm back into the mix, today's post from Turki Al-Sheikh shuts that down. The deal is done. But before we get ahead of ourselves, this isn't Haney versus Garcia 2 just yet. What we've got is the roadmap to that fight. Here's how it's going to play out. According to sources like Ring Magazine, both Ryan and Haney will return on the same card this May, likely in the United States. They'll each face different opponents. And if both win, then we're looking at an October rematch in Saudi Arabia to kick off Riyadh season. That timing is just after Ryan's suspension lifts. And look, this isn't the first time the Saudis have tried this format. Remember Day of Reckoning? They had Joshua and Wilder on the same card, setting up a clash, if both won. Of course, Wilder got knocked out and the matchup fell apart. So yeah, this kind of setup isn't new, but it's a bold strategy. And if it works, we're looking at some massive fights before the year's out. So, who's Ryan Garcia fighting in May? Well, the strongest rumor, and one Ryan himself has all but confirmed, is Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, if true, this is massive. Just as big as the Haney rematch, honestly. Lopez versus Garcia is the kind of stylistic clash that fans dream of. Teo's ring IQ and counterpunching against Ryan's speed and combinations. Plus, both guys have huge egos, loud mouths, and no problem selling a fight. This would be a fireworks matchup, plain and simple. Now, there are still whispers about Isaac Pitbull Cruz or even Jaron Boots Ennis, though the latter seems way less likely. Either way, this won't be a warm-up fight. Ryan's jumping straight back into the fire. As for Haney, he recently tweeted that he's done with 140, hinting at a move up to 147. And if that's true, then his opponent might be Jose Ramirez. Now, Ramirez is 29-2, with his most recent loss coming against Arnold Barboza Jr. and his only other defeat coming to Josh Taylor. He's a tough customer. Not elite, but no pushover. And since Ramirez normally fights at super lightweight, this could mean Devin's tweet was just bait, or we might really be seeing the next fight at welterweight. Honestly, Ramirez makes sense for Haney. It's a comeback fight, not a mega event, but still a solid test. But there is a concern. Haney moving up in weight could be risky. Let's be honest, he's never been a power puncher. His last KO was back in 2019 at 135. He couldn't stop Loma, he couldn't hurt Prograis, and when smaller guys like Garcia land clean, Haney doesn't take it well. That chin is in question, and fighting naturally bigger guys at 147, that's a dangerous game. So now we ask the question, can both guys handle business in May? If Garcia ends up fighting Teo, that's a huge risk. It's a headline-worthy fight. for a comeback. And honestly, I didn't expect Ryan to take something that serious right out the gate. But props if he does. For Haney, it's more about the mental game. Is he fully recovered from the loss to Ryan? Or will he do what we just saw Tim Chu do, ignore the warning signs, act like nothing happened, and end up getting beaten by someone he should have handled? Because here's the thing, that Garcia rematch isn't guaranteed. Both guys need to win. And mentally, physically, they've got to be on point. The Saudis are investing big, but this whole thing falls apart if one of them slips up. And lastly, love them or hate them, we've got to give credit where it's due. His Excellency and the Saudi team are making fights happen, unlike guys like Tank Davis, who's calling out others for chasing money while he's fighting Lamont Roach, a matchup no one asked for. The Saudis are putting together cards fans actually want. Big names, big stakes, real drama. They're breathing new life into the sport. But now I want to hear from you. Who do you think Haney and Garcia are fighting in May? Do you think the rematch is actually going to happen? And if it does, who walks away, the winner this time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.